Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence that was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw homicides and shootings, and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
Lil Baby on the run. They let him know 90 days in advance that he could be facing the RICO. That's the biggest head start I ever heard in my life. Unfortunately, young kids lost their lives behind street violence that had everything to do with some nonsense in the hip-hop industry. It's looking like this is the end of the hip-hop scene for Atlanta. They're going to make it hard for people to really make a name in Atlanta. The rent is too high, there's way too much crime, and it's looking like hip-hop is the problem. After they take Lil Baby down, there's going to be no another Lil Baby. There ain't going to be no more Migos. It's over. The trap scene, the drill scene, whatever you want to call it, the hip-hop scene in Atlanta is about to be officially dead because this time around, 2 young men lost their lives. It'd be different if it was a rapper that lost their life or somebody trying to hop the gate and broke their leg and they lost their life. Rest in peace to young Scooter. People that got money in Atlanta not going for it no more. The rumor is Lil Baby is on the run. Don't nobody know where he at. And he need to keep running because these kids did not deserve to die.
Authorities say a high-ranking member of the Goodfellas gang who was incarcerated orchestrated the attack using a smuggled cell phone. Following those instructions, the suspects opened fire at an apartment complex where the 3 young teens were gathered to celebrate Freeman's birthday. Police say they weren't the targets.
The crazy part about all of this is Lil Baby got kids of his own. And I know he thinking, what would he do if his kids lost their lives to some nonsense? And there's a lot of his fans out there thinking to themselves, what would they do if their kids lost their lives over something that got something to do with one of their favorite rappers? Thoughts like this make people want to turn the radio off. Thoughts like this make people don't want to go to concerts. Thoughts like this make people don't want to support the hip-hop industry. And the saddest part about this is Lil Baby appeals to young kids. You can ask any child in the projects in front of a hot bowl of ramen noodles who their favorite rapper is. 9 times out of 10, they gonna say Lil Baby. It's safe to say that if you a parent and you let your kids listen to Lil Baby, you basically killing your kids. Because according to these news reports, this rapper is literally destroying the youth.
These kids were innocent victims. So when we talk about the gang involvement, these 2 13-year-olds and this 11-year-old, they didn't have a gang involvement.
Those arrested were identified as Keontae Sanders, Richard Hollis, Reginald Thomas, DeKeithion Mobley, Marcus Crawford, Tradon Crawford, and Ali Caldwell. The final 2 were arrested Tuesday. Police had some tough talk for those responsible.
So if they got everybody that did the killing, why do they want Lil Baby? Do they want to do another major trial? Those other dudes ain't got the money Lil Baby got. Those other dudes don't have the fame Lil Baby got. So it could be a possibility that they just trying to tie him into it because he's famous and they want to make international news. But either way, it's a win-win for those kids. Any publicity that's bringing justice to kids that lose their lives due to street violence, and if Lil Baby's face got to be on it, so people can pay attention to it, so justice can be brought to kids all across the world, that's a good thing. But if it's anything like the Young Thug trial, it's going to be a bunch of people in Atlanta trying to line their pockets. There's already podcasters out here that don't know what the hell is going on, but they speaking on it because it's in the news.
But day 3 of officially doing something, I think. They're going to do something today. Of the Goodfella gang, where they are trying to see if they're going to move forward for the indictment, move forward for it to go to the grand jury.
What I want to know is why the OGs in rap don't smack these dudes when they get kids killed or when they do dumb crimes in the street. You figure the ones that paved the way for the young rappers to come up should feel responsible for the actions of these young boys because they following in their footsteps. Where is the OG that's going to step the little baby, slap him in his face in front of his boys for those kids that lost their lives?
This morning, Atlanta police say they are investigating a homicide that happened overnight less than a mile away on Lakewood Avenue. Our crew saw police overnight collecting evidence on that scene. We are still working to learn exactly what happened and get more information about this scene. We'll bring you those updates as soon as we get them and give them to you on 11 Alive.
There's a lot of people moving to Atlanta that don't do their research about Atlanta. So for all you people that's thinking about moving to Atlanta and y'all see all of the news that's happening in Atlanta, I need y'all to remember these street names, all of these places that they're talking about where crimes is going on. Y'all need to know these neighborhoods before y'all move into these neighborhoods, because you could be in your house with your family and gunshots come through the doors or the windows, and you don't want that. So when you hear news like this, write those street names down and try to find somewhere else to live. Atlanta is a beautiful city, but there's a whole lot of crime going on, especially with the price of rent being so high. People got to do what they got to do to survive. It's looking like they're about to drag Lil Baby in court the same way they did Young Thug and A$AP Rocky. And when the trial is over, even if it takes 2 or 3 years, it's a possibility Lil Baby not going to jail.
Only Channel 2, by the way, was in Buckhead Monday night as police arrested the rapper Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams. We showed you this exclusive video on WSB Tonight at 11.
Now here's the latest today. A judge held an initial hearing on the charges this morning. This is video from court of Young Thug in a blue jumpsuit. The rapper and 28 other defendants charged in a 56-count indictment alleging street gang activity, including robbery and murder. And Channel 2's Michael Seiden and investigative reporter Mark Winnie broke this story on WSB Tonight last night. Michael is live now in downtown Atlanta at the Fulton County Courthouse.
So, Michael, the thing is, just a few hours ago, investigators, they held that news conference, and this is part of a wide-ranging gang crackdown.
George, this investigation has been going on for months, and take a look at this. This is that 88-page indictment, 56 charges ranging from murder, armed robbery, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Of course, those two rap superstars, the headliners on this indictment, but the top prosecutor here in Fulton County says this indictment will help get gang members off the street who she says are responsible for 80% of the violence we see in Metro Atlanta.
Hip-hop superstar and Atlanta native Young Thug making an appearance in a Fulton County courtroom Tuesday. His first appearance in front of a judge comes less than 24 hours after authorities raided the rapper's Buckhead home. Channel 2 was the only station there Monday as investigators arrested the 30-year-old. Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, is one of 28 defendants charged in a sweeping 56-count indictment against the criminal street gang Young Slime Life, also known as YSL. The charges ranging from conspiracy to violate the Georgia criminal racketing law, murder, armed robbery, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, also named Sergio Kitchens, who performs under the name Gunna. As of Tuesday afternoon, the rap star had not yet surrendered to authorities.
My number one focus is targeting gangs, and there's a reason for that. They are committing conservatively 75 to 80% of all of the violent crime that we are seeing within our community.
According to the indictment, YSL is a criminal street gang started in late 2012 in the Cleveland Avenue area of Atlanta. Prosecutors say Young Thug is a co-founder, and he and his affiliates have played a role in some of the city's most violent crimes.
Me and the mayor and the police chief have talked about the fact that Cleveland in our community is referred to as Bleveland.
Also named in the indictment is Jimmy Carlton Winfrey. He's serving a 20-year prison sentence after pleading guilty to firing shots at rapper Lil Wayne's tour buses as they traveled on I-285 in April of 2015.
Yeah, we can tell you that DA Willis says at this hour, arrests are still being made. She says it could be up to 2 weeks before everybody is in custody. Now, as far as Young Thug's attorney, he did tell our Mark Winnie last night that his client is innocent and they look forward to fighting the charges against them. We're live in downtown Atlanta. I'm Michael Seiden, Channel 2 Action News.
Hearing those numbers and those stats on gang violence, Michael, is just Shocking. Thank you. More details now about this incident on WSB last night. Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie told you the indictment describes a criminal gang called YSL, which stands for Young Slime Life. Mark reported that the indictment alleges Young Thug is one of 3 YSL founders. Prosecutors also told Channel 2 one of the defendants named in the indictment is this man, Christian Eppinger. He's the same man accused of shooting Atlanta police officer David Rogers 6 times in February. We're staying on top of this story for Channel 2 Action News at 6. Investigative reporter Mark Winnie is going to be back speaking exclusively with Fulton County's District Attorney Fonnie Willis and Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labat about this major indictment.
The Young Thug trial lasted longer than the O.J. Simpson trial. I feel like they had political reasons for it to last so long. They was trying to get Trump locked up and everything. But with this situation with Lil Baby, it's a little different because there's kids involved. When Yella Beezy allegedly had Mo 3 killed, Mo 3 is a grown man. Yella Beezy is out of jail right now. All of the people involved in the Young Thug murders, they were all grown adults, gangbangers at that. And that may be the reason why Young Thug is home right now. But for Lil Baby, you figure he named himself that to appeal to kids. And now he allegedly killing kids. It's a possibility that he gonna be spending the rest of his life in jail.
New warrants reveal that Atlanta police believe a shooting that resulted in the deaths of 2 teens happened because of a Lil Baby music video. This afternoon, police announced 2 additional arrests made in connection to the shooting last summer.
And then police say that this was all the result of tension, a beef between 2 gangs. The 11 Alive's Erica Murphy is live from police headquarters with the very latest. So, Erica, what led police to these arrests?
Well, Ron, they say that a wiretap between a man sitting behind bars and some of the suspects is one of the things that tipped them off to all of the people they've arrested so far. They also shared that the plot for this deadly shooting runs deep. In fact, we have confirmed after looking over arrest warrants for the 7 people implicated in this deadly shooting that one of the people they're looking at is Atlanta-based rapper Lil Baby.
Video evidence depicted several people in this community pouring out of their apartments, attempting to triage wounds, attempting to transport persons to the hospital.
On July 2nd, a shooting at the Oakland City West End Apartments claimed the life of 13-year-old best friends Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. The pair were gathered to celebrate Freeman's birthday. Another child, just 11, was also shot.
To this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes. Before gang violence ultimately took his life.
Officials say Atlanta police, along with the FBI, have been working for months to bring the people responsible for taking these 2 young lives to justice. Major Ralph Woolfolk says that the killings are tied to a gang rivalry that escalated during a video shoot.
Gang violence that was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been.
In all, 7 people have been arrested, but 2 men, Ollie Caldwell and Traydon Crawford, were just arrested. Now, police say there is now a $50,000 reward to bring everyone who might be involved with this shooting to justice. And we also want you to know that we've been hearing for months through tipsters that rapper Lil Baby might be involved in this. But today was the first day we were able to report it because we confirmed it through those warrants that we looked at. Reporting from Atlanta Police Headquarters, Erica Murphy, 11 Alive News.
They gave this man a hell of a heads up, talking about in 90 days he could be facing the RICO. So he had enough time to get out of town, change his face, whatever he needed to do to get low. Could Lil Baby be charged for filming a music video in the wrong place? A former Atlanta prosecutor describes the legal issues the rapper may be facing over escalating violence in the city. He rich. Why don't he just go somewhere and leave Atlanta alone? That's like messing with your baby mother and you don't want nothing to do with the kids. In late February, the Atlanta Police Department held a press conference on Spark Street, a neighborhood in Fulton County. Speaking to the assembled media, they announced the arrest of 7 men charged with the July 2nd, 2024 shooting deaths of two 13-year-old boys, Lamont Freeman and Jacody Davis, at a birthday party for Freeman. A third, Dontavius Davis, was injured, according to police warrants. So I know this young man is traumatized. He witnessed 2 of his friends lose their lives in his house. According to police warrants, the 2 murdered children were innocent victims of ongoing violence between rivals. On My Family, the 4 Pocket Full, 4PF, and Organized Connected to Dominican Republic, the Atlanta-based rapper known as Lil Baby. Homicide Commander Ralph Wolfork didn't identify Lil Baby by name or alias when he spoke. He did explicitly connect both deaths to the city's local rap scene, blaming their murders on cowardly acts of the Alabama-based rapper that decided to go over into rival gang stronghold to shoot a music video in a place where he knew he should not have been, while emphasizing that the APD will work relentlessly to hold you accountable for the actions of the affiliated responsible for your actions. And with that being said, Lil Baby is on his way to jail.
Atlanta police now blame the deaths of 2 Atlanta teens last summer on a violent street gang in our community. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us for Fox 5 News at 5. I'm Tom Haynes.
I'm Courtney Bryant. Just hours ago, APD announced they now have charged 7 people with the murders. Fox 5's Tyler Fingert is live at Atlanta Police Headquarters to tell us what we're finding out. Tyler?
Yeah, Courtney, good evening to you. Investigators say 2 13-year-olds were innocent victims caught in a gang retaliation shooting while celebrating a birthday.
The overall theme of this case is grown men playing gangster.
Atlanta police say these are the innocent faces of gang violence in Atlanta. 2 of them, 13-year-old boys Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman, were killed. And 11-year-old Dontavius Davis was wounded last July in a shooting on Spark Street. APD says Freeman was killed on his 13th birthday.
Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes. Before gang violence ultimately took his life.
During an afternoon news conference, investigators blamed the deadly shooting on a local rapper. They said the attack was in retaliation for the rapper entering a rival gang's territory to film a music video.
In the subsequent days, we saw homicides and shootings, and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions, and you know who you are.
Authorities say a high-ranking member of the Goodfellas gang who was incarcerated orchestrated the attack using a smuggled cell phone. Following those instructions, the suspects opened fire at an apartment complex where the 3 young teens were gathered to celebrate Freeman's birthday. Police say they weren't the targets.
These kids were innocent victims. So when we talk about the gang involvement, these 2 13-year-olds and this 11-year-old, they didn't have a gang involvement.
Those arrested were identified as Keontae Sanders, Richard Hollis, Reginald Thomas, DeKeithion Mobley, Marcus Crawford, Tradon Crawford, and Allie Caldwell. The final 2 were arrested Tuesday. Police had some tough talk for those responsible.
Goodfellas Criminal Street Gang being one of the most hyper-violent gangs in the city of Atlanta, and we will pursue you relentlessly in making sure that we keep this city safe and suppressing violence.
And the investigation continues. There is a $50,000 reward for information about this case. We're live in downtown Atlanta tonight. Tyler Fingert, Fox 5 News.
Good to know police are finally getting some answers. Tyler, thanks.
Y'all got to let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section. Is it time for Lil Baby to go to jail? Should they pull the plug on hip hop in Atlanta altogether? Y'all know a lot of people move to Atlanta to get their music career popping. They be watching Love and Hip Hop. They want to eat at those restaurants those actors be eating at. They want to shop at Lenox and go to all of the stores and boutiques. They want to live that Atlanta life. I hate to see kids losing their lives to nonsense that grown men got going on. They should have never went over there shooting like it's a video game or something. It's so sad. Y'all got to let me know in the comment section how y'all feel about it. They gave Lil Baby, the biggest head start I ever seen in my life. They let the world know that he got 90 days and then they gonna hit him with the RICO. I thought that they catch you unexpectedly. They run up in your while you at home eating cereal. When they dragged Young Thug out the house, he looked like he was in his drawers. So you mean to tell me Lil Baby's supposed to just sit around Atlanta waiting for them to come get him? Now they can't find him. It's a possibility they never gonna find him. Let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section, man. I got so much love for y'all. I'ma holla at y'all on my next video.